A good night of Shabbos, Parshas Emor. Parshas Emor lo Kahanim. B'nai Yahan. So Parshas Emor is where it's the avodah of the Kahanim. We're going into the avodah of the Kahanim. What's the avodah of the Kahanim? It's b'chashoy. B'chashoy is tzir'usa the liba. It's the work of the heart. The heart is very silent. There's no. The work is done b'chashoy, which means it's done in silence. You know, whatever silence is on every level, silence. So what is the heart? So there's Lamed Beis Nesivos Chachma. There's 32 shvilin, 32 paths of how one can walk, which means that you can have the information, you know exactly where it's at, and you can hold. But how do you go forward? How does this machine work? We spoke about the Vav Ketzavos, the 6 corners, which is the midas, Mizach Ma'ariv, Darim self-impending, where you're at, and all that affects the whatever is being processed. And the way to go forward is there are 32 paths from the heart that goes into Chachma. It's called Lamed Beis Nesivos Chachma. And why is it Lamed Beis? Because Lamed Beis is also Lev, it's the heart. And what is the heart? The heart is Chav Beis Oisius and the Esser Seers. So it's 22 and 10. So it's the letters, and it's the Seers, which is the midas, the attributes, and you're moving forward with the Oisius, moving forward with where do you want to go? What's your will? Where do you want to go? And then you activate the train track and start going forward from your heart. Remember, it's Chachma. Chachma is doesn't have, Chachma sees the picture, the end result. It doesn't have too much logic to it. It's Chachma. It's surrender. So it's going forward. Now we're talking about in the klal of the Indian. Then of course there's the pratim, but we can't get into pratim at the moment. So Emor al Kahanim, and that is tshuva. Tshuva is coming back to yourself, And where is self this week? Self this week is in the heart. Emor al Kahanim, and understanding this. By going into the heart, taking a moment and finding self, we're able to see that the opposition, the struggle is, there's the other side of the struggle. The struggle is not where it's at. You're not in the struggle. The struggle is just here as the other side of what's being projected from the heart, from the 22 oisias. And that is the anxiety also, because as we're shifting and moving, the emotions are not able to express itself because we're stuck. We're stuck in Chaimer Levanim. We can't change. And then there's even, fine, not to get into that. So different things that are being done today that stop the shift from happening as the emotions are moving, and as we're growing and evolving and moving forward through the Lamed Beis Nesivos, the 32 paths, whatever that is, which means that anything and everything that's happening to you is exactly what you need for your journey. You are on your journey, and you need to bring presence to that, and that is the least that one can do. But the main thing is to find the separation between self and the projection of self, which means self is in like, who am I really? What's the will? And then seeing the projection of what's being projected, what appears, the lower vibrations that's happening out there, is not really where I am. There's a deeper self to me. What do I want? And completely ignoring what's coming out and what's projecting outside. Just going into the heart. What do I want? What am I feeling? What am I connecting to? And there's levels of the heart, of course. There's different levels of feeling in the heart. There is different conversations that are taking place. different conversations that are taking place on different levels. There is, there's politics, there is sports, there is vacationing, whatever it is. There is wars, there's fear, there's COVID, different levels, different combinations of conversations taking place, and then there is the higher vibration going into what do I want, going into tapping into your heart. That is where Bina Ba'alev Maven, through that, one understands Lama Beis Nesivas Chachma, tapping into the Yechidah Shema Nefesh, tapping into to the Mashiach within, Emor Elakahanim. That is the work of the heart. I mean, I think it's it's a little bit of a Tifa concept. That is the ultimate tshuva. By getting into who I really am means that I came back. Tashuvka, I came back to my Yudkai, I connect to that, because whatever you're imagining about yourself, positive things, and whatever you're envisioning, and when you're gonna be 30 or 40 or whatever the number is, whatever you're envisioning, it's already there. You're seeing it. Now you just need to bring it into the now. You need to bring it into now. So when that is happening, as you are bringing in your possibility, bringing it into the now, that level of when you bring that level of oneness and that level of a level of completion, let's say, of unity, you bring that into the lower vibrations, that's going to cause friction. Not just friction, it's going to cause a painful process, a symptom, because this light here in Olam Apirit, and this level, there's no unity. So there's expressions are happening on different outbursts, like lightning, like icicles sticking out, and it's coming through that, which means that's how we live. We live in the pain, in the squeeze. We live in the in that bite. So when the oil, your potential, comes down, it meets that resistance, that level of separation. Like you're looking at every possibility with 10 ways why it can't happen. 10 different voices are active. Some you're conscious of, some you're not, and it's telling you why that can't happen. So that's the resistance that we're living in, and as we're going deeper in the work and asking why are things squeezing? So it's squeezing because you're bringing in more of that, more possibility. So you're going to meet the resistance, but the resistance is not there because it's supposed to be hard. The resistance is there to become in touch and activate that fire within you, your will from within you. Like, where do I need to find myself to push back on this, on the block, on the resistance? And it's all ultimately it's all self-judgment, and ultimately it is not one, him, me, you, or they. That's not where it's at. We're one consciousness. We're one thing, one light. And the separation that we are meeting with is not who you are. That is the opposition as your light is trying to shine. As ultimately, what do we want? You just want to express yourself. You want to tap into your will, and you're being met with resistance. The resistance that you're being met with is not that person. It's not this person. It's not me. It is the resistance that we are dealing with as one. Ke'echad, ke'ish echad b'lev echad. We're dealing with as one, to try to remove that and bring this light, which is your will, which is, the highest, the Keser, Eibishter, your Father, the Melech Malach HaMelachim, bringing it into to this consciousness and this vibration. So understanding, and that is tshuva. Tshuva is having this level of forgiveness, and there's levels of forgiveness too, of course, levels of tshuva. There's forgiving, there's forgiving suppressing, there's forgiving processing, and then there's forgiving radical forgiveness, where I'm seeing the purpose and the benefit of what happened and what took place, how it gave me what I needed, exactly what I needed, because we're one. It's not as long as it's still a separation, we're still looking at it the wrong way. We're still looking at it from bottom up. We're still looking at it from chomer levin, and where you're blocked. The neck is the das is blocked, and you can't see through it. You can't get past it. It's about my daladamas. But going through the process over Pesach and Eshuach Mayim Offer, going back to the four elements, everything is possible from that place. Going through Kriyas Yamsuf with that level, which is last year's Kriyas Yamsuf was at a level lower, and this year's Kriyas Yamsuf is you went through Kriyas Yamsuf in this time and space with this knowledge, with this understanding of the four elements. So you weren't 20 in this year, you're 21, or 30 or 31. It's just for lack of better expression on how we're going to measure time, there is a number to it. But really, it's an evolution of intellect, of how it's making its way in, and as it's trying to figure itself out here in Olam Asiyah, it's intellectual. It becomes more aware of itself. Because it has to become mindful, and we're right, levels, layers. So in other words, and then this is only from where the neshama part is. Then we can't forget that the actual creator we have no access to. It's Yoshes Choshech Sister. It's lights out. You have no expression for it. Is it faster, slower? There's none of these expressions. It's a complete different vibration. But going back to the possibility of the Omer, as we're counting the Omer, as we're lifting up the behemoth, we're lifting up the Sa'orim, is what we're doing is we're taking the separation. We're taking that lock that we're locked into, how I'm locked into how we hold things, how we process things in a very physical way, in a stuck way, and we're lifting it up to all the way up to before to the source of the midas, the source of that atig yamin, or shivas yamin. So with lifting up to that place, when you're going up, picking up your hands to such a high place, going all the way up, as it comes down, that chomer dissolves itself. It turns into dust. You see the illusion of it. It breaks down the hard matter of it. So picking up the Omer and going into strong Emunah and Betachon, heading into, as we're getting closer to counting down the Omer. Today is also Netzach Shebanetzach, very strong. Netzach Shebanetzach, it's an important. Netzach is confidence, very important. Confidence, how is confidence? How do you express confidence? What gives one confidence here? What clicks the chomer and sparks the energy behind it? Here in Olam Asiyah, what leaves an imprint here in Olam Asiyah that is confidence? And how do you activate confidence? That is with Shefa, Kesef. It validates because it's over Lasecheh. It's something that everybody respects. So, but there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. So Emor Lekahanam should be Shefa Raf, as we're counting down the Omer Netzach Shebanetzach, stepping into massive confidence and Itzach and victorious. There should be Shefa for everything that we need. And what's not what we'll do? Let me see what else, if we're leaving something out. Okay. This is the Libba, Vashai, Libas. Yeah, the 32 Lama Beis Nesivos Chachma, Lama Beis Nesivos Chachma. I think that was, there's Lama Beis Nesivos, and then there is Chamishim Sharim. There's 50 gates. There's 32 shvilim, highways, and 30 gates, a shar. And every step in your way, the different sharim, you can stop to enter in that space. Do I want to work on this? Do I want to work on that? Be mindful about what you're doing and understanding that as you are doing that, you're not waiting to get there. This is the picture you chose to walk through as you are going through Olam Asiyah. This is the path that you chose. This is the shar that you entered. You entered in Chesed. You want to work on food or this or that, whatever it is. That is the heichel you're walking in, and you are in that orchard, in that garden. That's where you are walking, and we are there. And the softer you get, the less we have to wait to, the less we have to wait to accomplish something and to go to Gan Eden, but understand that everything is Gan Eden. It's just a different frequency and a different vibration. Of course, whoever is there, Tov Alev Bracha. Here we're just sharing the facts and the technology. So yes, which means that Gan Eden is here. Everything is here. Everything is present right now. We need to get more calm and more. What we need is we need light to come from Oven and just heal us. That's what we need. That's what we need. A deep awakening, a deep understanding. And that is what's happening now in the month of Chodesh Iyar of Ani Hashem Rafecha. Have an awesome Gewaldigen Shabbos, and Kiddush Lavan is a very, very important, powerful thing. If you can do that, Motzei Shabbos, that is starke Sachen. Chaim Levracha.